Today is Bus Driver Appreciation Day, and if you're as lucky as we are, then you have a pretty awesome bus driver that deserves recognition all on their own. So I went and put together a little gift basket filled of treats, and of course I need to make it extra fancy. I attached this little tag that can double as a keychain that can be taken off the basket. So if you want to learn how to make this, follow along and I'll show you. One of the first things that I'm going to do is open up LightBurn and simply type our bus driver's name. Now, I'm lucky, it's a pretty short and easy name, but by entering his name, then I can play around with different fonts. But I also have a file saved with some cute fonts that I've used in the past that makes sorting through them a heck of a lot easier. First thing I'm going to do is open up LightBurn and type in the name of our bus driver. Now, something that I did before was just save a file called Cute Font Styles, mainly for when I'm engraving kid items, but this allows me to quickly pick out a font that I will like or that will suit for what I'm trying to do here. Now, I already had one in mind, and it is this one, Marker Felt, and I'm just gonna type that. Change the font. I'm going to set it to fill just so I can see it a little bit easier as we're going through this. And there we go. The next thing that I would like to do is add a cute little school bus right here. Now, I already have a school bus because we've been having Mr. Ed for several years now, so I have a lot of designs to choose from. But if you're stuck and need to pick a design, let me show you how I would do it. First, I'm going to head to my internet browser and just open up Google and type in school bus clip art and hit enter. Naturally, you're going to get a ton of clip art images that you can use, but I'm going to go to the Images tab on Google. And then it's important to know that usually at the top, they always have the sponsored posts. So you can always support a file maker on Etsy, or you can scroll down to get other ideas of what you might like as far as clip art. But what I would do is head over here to Tools, and then underneath a bar pops up where you can click Usage Rights, Creative Commons Licenses. And from there, you will be able to use many different clip art styles for free and with permission. You can also filter these by having black and white if you want outline, silhouette, etc. So for something as simple as this and not too hard to find and detailed, Google's Creative Commons licenses is where I would go. However, like I said, I already had a school bus, and I like to personalize it with a bus number and the school district too, just to make it a little bit more unique. The school bus itself is engraved, so I'm going to need an outline around the school bus so that I can cut it and keep it separate from his name. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the school bus, and then in LightBurn, I am going to come over here to the Offset Shapes feature. I'm going to move the preview screen down so I can see it as I am working, and really, this is really going to work. So I am doing the outer shape only. I don't need the inside. I know when I click OK, it's going to be set to the same layer. I am going to change that to red just so I can see my cut line as well. So we have the bus. From here, because this is going to be a separate piece, the bus is done. So I'm going to hit Command D on my computer, and I'm just going to keep that to the side so that I can cut that out separately. I am going to cut this on birch. It's going to be 1/8 inch birch, and the blue part is going to be engraved, so it'll be nice and crisp. Now I need to make sure that I can make this all into a keychain with no problem. Next thing that I am actually going to do is use that red line so that I can cut the shape of the bus out from the letters itself. But before I get into all that, I want to select just that cut line and hit Command D to duplicate that line, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But first, let's get that chunk of the bus out of the letter D. To do this, I'm going to head right back over to the weld, Boolean subtract, and these different options over here in LightBurn. I am going to hit Command and select the letter that I would like the bus removed from, and then I am going to click on the Boolean subtract. And just like that, I have the bus cut out from the letters. Now, because we duplicated this red cut line, I still have another one that exists. And the reason why we want that is because we need to make an offset cut that will allow all of these items to be grouped together and to be cut identically. But the next thing I'm going to do is come over to this Create Ellipse feature, or you can hit Command E, and holding down the Shift button, I'm going to draw a small circle. this small circle is where the keychain, I have a beaded keychain, that's where that's going to fit through. And I know just from experience that I need that to be cut at about 0.2 inches in diameter. Now I'm going to select the rest of the artwork here just to see how big it is. And right now it's at a width of 2.5 inches, and I'm okay with that. But I also would like that offset shape. So to do that, I'm going to make sure I have everything selected. I am going to come back over here or hit Alt and O to offset the shapes there. Make sure it's going outward, and I'm going to move this box so that I can see exactly how big it would be. 0.15 looks like it'd be pretty good as an offset. Once I click OK, I'm going to let that highlighted, and I'm also going to change that to a cut line so I can see it a little bit better as well. You'll see that there's some cuts in the middle that need to be deleted. What I usually do for that is I ungroup and I deselect the outer layer and just delete all the remaining cuts that would be left behind. The reason why I left the red cut line there on the bus is just so I would have a nice outlined shape when I went to offset it. So now you can go back to the bus and you can delete that as well. And actually you can delete the whole school bus because we are cutting that school bus separately from the rest of the keychain. Now is the hard part, choosing the acrylic colors that I am going to be wanting to use. So I'm going to pick those out and then we'll get these sent to the laser to cut. I actually think I'm going to go with 2 different shades of blue here. This will be the offset part of the keychain in the background, and this will be the letters. Back over in LightBurn, I'm going to turn off that blue layer because that is going to be cut separately, and I'm going to adjust my settings for the line layer. Now I have a 100 watt Eon Mira 9, so I know that I could cut this at about 45 to 48 power, and I'm only going to do it in one pass. So once that's in here, I'm going to set the origin and then simply send it on over to the laser. I got to turn on the laser first. The outlined turned out awesome. It's a great size and I think will be perfect for what I'm using it for. Now I am going to get the other piece of acrylic and put adhesive on the back of it just so I don't get glue and residue all over the outline of the backer piece. My go-to for the adhesive on smaller parts like this is the 3M double-sided adhesive because it lasts forever. So I'm going to put it on the back, flip it over. I usually try to make it square on my laser bed, and I'm going to send the file over and get that cut. Tip to keep track of these smaller pieces so they don't fall in the honeycomb tray, grab some painter's tape and pull it up with painter's tape first. After repeating that process a third time for the little school bus, I am ready to put it all together. Last thing that we have to do is put on this little keychain holder. I'm going to slide it in, or I could use a cute ribbon and tie it to the basket. And there we have it. A nice keychain that's going to be attached to a bus driver appreciation gift.